splashed. Again, I need the warning for splash zone.
A splash zone. She didn't like this leg here. That was amazing. I mean, my day has been made. Well, I think it's time to get started. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Take a Break with Jake. My name is Jake, and we're here with Neo, our beautiful cassowary chick. Also with us are two of Neo's parents, human parents. We have Lauren, one of our avian keepers, and Olivia, another. They're going to tell us a little bit about this perfect chick here. Lauren, why don't you start us off? How old is she? How big is she? Tell us all the things.
She is 61 days old, and she's just over 6 pounds, which she'll get to be about roughly 145 pounds when she's an adult. So she has still a lot of growing to do, but she's growing so rapidly. So we're having to upgrade her enclosure every couple of weeks. Hello. She's practicing her kicking behaviors. That's what
Kicking the camera,
I mean,
you know.
that was on cue. I wish I could say that. But she's definitely practicing a lot because that's how they defend themselves as an adult.
That's awesome. Now, someone was just asking me how fast do cassowaries grow? And most birds are full grown by like 6 to 8 months of age. They move quickly. Is it the same for cassowaries?
At about a year old, she should be about her height. But she'll probably still be gaining weight over the next couple of years, and more strength and agility.
Right.
She'll run about 25 miles an hour as an adult, and then she also has a crazy jumping behavior that's about 6 feet up
6
into
feet
the air.
into the air. So that's like my height into the air. Like her feet would be at my head, and
Right.
she would just be floating in the air. For those of you who don't know, cassowaries are flightless birds. There are a handful of them. Ostriches are kind of the main one that most people know of. Cassowaries are really cool, and they're also flightless, so they have to be able to run really quickly, and then they ninja kick, which we have seen her do a couple times out here. We might see her do again as she runs around. And they have a big casque on their forehead, right, Olivia? So can you tell us a little bit about, like, obviously Neo doesn't have it yet because she's a chick, but tell us a little bit about the casque.
Yeah, so the casque is something that as they grow older, it'll get larger. And it's really kind of a superficial thing that they have on their head that they don't really use it to defend themselves or anything. It's not like a weapon. It's kind of like similar to like our rhino hornbills have their casque on their head. So it's a very similar structure. It's kind of made out of the same material as like our fingernails. And they usually will, both the males and the females will have them. So she will get one eventually.
Cool. Oh my gosh, she's throwing squash flowers around. What's going on, Neo? Now she's making some little like chick noises. So she's like chirping a little bit, whispering a bit. What are the noises that adult cassowaries make?
They make a low booming vocalization, which is like a low bass, what you would hear out of your car or speakers. So they use that to communicate with. They boom to vocalize to other cassowaries, letting each other know what territories they have. And then they do short booms. They'll get really excited, as well as almost like a hissing vocalization when they feel threatened and they want to just have their own privacy.
Right, be like, leave me alone, I'm pissing at you.
Yes.
That's fair. I can't remember if you mentioned when you were giving our intro there, but where are cassowaries found in the wild?
Australia.
Okay. So not a bird that you would see here in Tennessee in your backyard, but definitely a cool one to visit here at the zoo. Now, are Neo's parents on exhibit right now, Olivia?
Yeah, they actually are. So Marge is on exhibit, that's Neo's mom, and Ren is on exhibit as well, but it's kind of hard to see him right now because he's actually sitting on some more eggs.
Spoiler alert.
His yard, yeah. So he's definitely not really easy to see right now because he's focused on his dadly duties.
Okay.
But Marge is always out there every day in the main yard for everyone to see.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
And we do have a third cassowary, right?
Yeah, we do. We actually have another male. He is in just one of those same yards, but his is just a little off of the viewing, so you can't see him. But he's back there as well, so he's not related to Neo at all, but we do have him too.
Call him the cool, unrelated uncle.
Yeah, he is the cool uncle.
What do you think about this? You don't care, okay. Well,
She's very particular about the plants she wants to keep.
right.
Or destroy.
I gotta say, she's
Another attack. I've been attacked.
she's
That's so cute.
definitely challenging my cameraman abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's hard to film. She moves a lot.
It also is really funny because I saw her enclosure earlier today, and I was like, this bird has more toys than any other animal in the zoo. Our bird team is spoiling her rotten.
She is definitely spoiled.
Is she
I mean,
our
she
first
has-
cassowary chick?
Her own
Yeah.
splash pad.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah, she has her own splash pad. I mean, she really has everything she could ever want.
She is a diva.
But she kind of deserves it all, right? She's so
Absolutely.
stinking cute. Oh my gosh. Now, in the wild, do cassowaries like to play in the water a lot?
They do. Yeah, they're actually great swimmers despite of their large body size
Right,
and zero webbed feet. So they have a powerful kick that allows them to get through the water.
Okay, interesting.
There's a good shot of their feet. Well, there was a good shot of their feet.
She's never still, huh?
No.
That inside toenail has grown a bit, so that'll grow to be about 5 inches long when she's an adult. So
Wow.
they use that to defend themselves.
Okay.
Since they can't fly away from anything. Goodness. Oh, no.
Gosh, she is cute.
Get it.
Can y'all tell us a little bit about the diet of adult cassowaries and then like what Neo is eating these days as well?
Yeah. So yeah, the adult cassowaries, they mainly eat fruit. So that's actually the majority of their diet is going to be large fruit items. They actually, as adults, can swallow a piece of fruit as large as a grapefruit. So they have a really large throat and they can actually swallow things like that whole, which is really good for in their native environment. They can swallow the fruits of these trees that have really large seeds, and other animals are not able to consume those. So then when these guys consume them and then pass them through their stool, they kind of are fertilizing the seeds and can grow more of those trees and plants. So they're kind of like a bee, they're kind of like a pollinator in a sense, you know, they're kind of spreading that around.
Okay, yeah, like an ecosystem service that they provide.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah.
This just reminds me, Kelsey, I believe we did a Facebook Live with our adult cassowaries, probably with Lauren.
We did.
Like 3 years ago.
Right.
And you can probably find that on our Facebook page, I would guess in the Take a Break with Jake video folder.
That would be correct.
And you can see our adult cassowaries and learn all about them. Olivia, you saying about the stuff about their poop reminds me of that, because I remember the first thing I noticed when I went up to the cassowary exhibit was these massive piles of poop. And I know because I work with birds that birds poop all the time. But there's more to just poop than poop. It's actually really beneficial for all of the other ecosystems in that area, or all the other animals in that ecosystem.
Well,
So
they
that's
eat
pretty cool.
about 10% of their body weight.
10%
So
of their
that'd be about
body weight.
15 pounds a bird that they're,
Wow.
consuming. So think about how much is going out of their body too.
I mean, that's a lot.
So they're helping other animal life and plant life in the ecosystem.
That
So
is
we
so
do
cool.
need these guys around.
For sure.
They're very important.
And cute.
So I've gotten several comments on Facebook just posting videos of her, my gosh, can't give up, of her like baby watermelon stripes and kind of comparing those to taper stripes.
Yeah.
And when they're young, can we talk about her awesome stripes?
Yeah, I mean, it serves the same purpose. It's essentially, it helps them kind of blend into their environment and be protected as babies from predators. And then, as she grows, you can kind of see, especially if she does lay down and gets all wet, her feathers are starting to change already. So she's going to turn from this striped color to more of a golden color, like on top of her head, all over her body, before she then starts to turn black like her parents. So she goes through a couple different colors before she gets to be that adult color.
Well, her feet and legs always stay this yellow.
No, they will not. So they'll get a little bit darker as well. If you were to look at her parents, they've got kind of like a darkish, like dark brown, dark black kind of color going on. So she will definitely change colors there as well.
She just like laid down in the pool for a hot second because she's worked herself up and she's having so much fun. So like, let me cool down, but just for 1 second. Like,
It's her pool zoomies.
right.
She gets wet and then she's got to sprint.
And it's important to remind everyone here that we're looking at a bird still. So although those feathers look real tiny and almost look like fur, those are all feathers covering her body. And as birds age, they lose a lot of those like downy, really soft and plushy feathers, and then they get in their adult plumage. So it'll take a while for that. What are you doing? Ah! An attack. What are you doing? The cutest attack ever. Do we have any questions so far, Kelsey?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the shade where I can see my screen. We don't. Let's see. Courtney asks, are they normally this jumpy? Or is this one just extra adorable and fun?
You know, this is our very first cassowary chick that we've been so blessed to have. So, you know, I can't speak for other chicks. We've had chicks come in at 6 months of age.
Okay.
So they were not this hyper or this crazy. But they were both boys. So we don't know if this is a female characteristic about them as chicks, or also she is being hand reared by keeper staff and she gets a lot of attention from the entire zoo. So I think she's just feeding off of that energy and just extra spunky. Just her own little personality has really come out. So that's a good question.
And actually, I've seen, so other ratites, which is the family of birds that she's part of, other chicks like Rhea and ostrich, when they're babies, they're generally, they run around a lot and they have their wings out and they sprint around and jump around a lot, just testing their abilities. So I think she's a little, probably, like Lauren said, probably a little more confident because she has been raised by us and we do love to play with her and stuff. So she's probably encouraged a bit, but they are a little spunky just in general.
Just a little bird chaos, you know? That's so cute.
And when you think about it, when the chicks are with dad, because you know the dad is the one that incubates the eggs for 50 days and raising the young up to about 12 months, you know, they're always foraging and roaming around and they don't have a whole lot of rest time. So they're always up and about and being precocial as babies, meaning within 1 to 2 hours of being hatched out of the egg, they have to be rearing to go to start eating on their own and following dad around so they don't become a prey.
What's happening, Neil?
You might need a little assistance. Pardon me for a second.
Lauren's gonna come help you, girl.
There we go.
Hi, honey.
And water splashed in my eye, which is refreshing.
Yeah, right. Some dirty cassowary water.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing you've had in your eyes, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
What'd you do?
Got a little overzealous.
You got real wet, huh?
Better?
Oh,
Gonna do it again.
right, I was gonna say, it didn't bother her enough to not go back in the pool.
Well, like I was saying earlier, you can see more of those golden feathers showing up now that she's wet. And that's all, she'll be all golden here soon, the next couple months.
So pretty.
I know we mentioned this a little earlier, but James asks, how old will she be when she's fully grown?
Give it about a solid 2 years, maybe even 3, because you know they may be at their height at about 1 year, 1.5 years, but they're still going to gain more muscular body weight. So you know it's going to take.
She's got a while to go.
She definitely does.
But I think one of you were telling me that she's like doubled in size like pretty quickly since she's been born, right? I don't remember what you were saying about that though.
Hello.
That was a full body slam.
It just depends on the day. Some days she gains about 15% of her weight from the day before, and then other days she only gains like 1 or 2%. So she kind of fluctuates, but she's growing very rapidly. I mean, from when she first hatched to now, she's easily double the size.
So obviously y'all don't go in with our adult cassowaries because 145-pound bird, giant feet, giant toes, lots of powerful kicking, like not a safe thing. Obviously this is also your first chick to raise, so are you guys kind of taking it day by day as far as like, okay, when are you going to stop going in with her and interacting with her with pre-contact?
Yeah. So whenever we just watch behaviors, really. So what we'll do is we'll assess every single moment with her because every moment could be different. I do call them the quote-unquote bipolar bird because every moment you have no idea what you're getting into.
Sure.
So one moment they're calm, the next moment they're crazy. So
Hi.
so with Ren, we were with him up until about 2 years of age. It just depends on the cassowary itself, the personality. We may not have the luck of being in with her as long as the 2 years we were in with Ren.
Okay.
So we'll just judge it day by day.
Yeah, and that's like something that as animal professionals, like we're able to read their body language, read their behavior, interpret what that means for us, and then go from there. She was trying to get the button on my shorts there.
Neo.
Oh, there's more.
Uh-huh.
Easily distracted.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna get it.
Same. Okay, Kayla asks, how long do cassowaries live?
Well into their 40s in captivity.
Wow.
There has been a cassowary known to live into their 50s. So, but in the wild it wouldn't be as long because we do pamper them so well. So they have a long life. Long, healthy life. What are you doing?
Saw a boot,
What is
decided to kick the boot.
Excuse you.
Everything is a possible TikTok.
Right, yeah, like, what can't she do?
Yeah, and this is pretty new. In the last couple weeks, she's really finding her legs and figuring out how to be a cassowary.
Let's move away from the feet, girl. The thing to remember, too, is like, you know, what's cute right now is obviously super cute, but it's not going to be as fun when she's 140 pounds.
Or even 100.
Or even 100.
80.
Even 60 pounds, it's not fun. Just like when you're raising a puppy at home, the behaviors that you're training when they're young are crucial for them to interact with you in the future in a positive manner. So the keepers up here with Neo are watching her behavior every day and modifying it as best they can to help her safely interact with them. Because while it's really cute that she's ninja kicking us all the time right now, it won't be cute when she's bigger and trying to kick us. So.
Well, but we can't necessarily discourage the behavior because
Right.
it is a natural thing that they
Right.
do in the wild. This is something that she would be doing with her dad if she was with him as well. They got to learn how to be adults and get their baby energy out. So
Wait for 1 second, you know.
1 second.
Patience doesn't seem to be her main virtue,
no,
but that's all right.
she waits for no one.
It's also not my greatest quality, so
Either, so it's fine.
let's see. So a couple questions rolled in about siblings. If she were to have siblings, would she be with them? Would she play with them? Or are they even like loner birds when they're this young?
No, so they would be with their dad, with their clutch mates. So depending on how many he has. So she would definitely be with her siblings, with him for those first 12 months or so that he's with them. And then once he kind of leaves them, they would kind of find their own space.
But that would only be like if they were all hatched together, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they, once they leave dad, they don't stay with him longer than that. So they would be gone.
And what's the like largest clutch size that y'all have heard of?
I mean, Marge has laid up to 11 eggs before.
11 eggs.
But
Wow.
this time around, it's been 4 eggs
Okay.
this last clutch.
Okay.
So 3 to 4 is a good,
That's like pretty standard.
yeah.
And that's probably like enough mouths to feed, enough kids to watch
Right.
after for one dad. That sounds like
If you can imagine multiple Neos
No.
running around, that would
Like-
be a lot to manage.
Worse than herding toddlers in the middle of
Oh,
Walmart.
absolutely.
real cute though.
They're all going to go every different direction.
Hi.
Now she will not be reintroduced to the cassowaries we have. So she'll have her own exhibit for a little while. We're gonna wait till she's bigger.
Okay.
we're hoping she'll be big enough in about a month, maybe a month and a half, give or take. We'll see what she is. And then she'll be on exhibit to show herself to everyone in person.
And then we participate in the species survival plan for cassowaries, among many other species here at the zoo. So Neo may end up being sent to another facility in the future, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Within the year that she's hatched.
Okay, she will likely
It'll be an easier transport,
out.
less stressful.
Gotcha.
So she's already being crate trained. She's already scale trained and target trained. Targeting, you know, meaning she touches the item at the target circle with her beak, and then she's rewarded with a cricket.
Awesome.
So she does get bugs for protein.
What's her like favorite go-to treat these days?
Oh,
Like
crickets.
Crickets.
Live
Yep.
crickets.
It's the best thing that ever happened.
That's so cute.
She knows the cup that they come in.
Nice.
And
As
the
soon as
bag.
she sees it, she is on it. Very excited. Getting
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Are we chasing your rump?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Bye.
Cassowaries do whatever the cassowary wants to do.
Yeah, good for her. Do we have any other questions coming through, Kelsey?
You know, Jake, it's kind of hard to read them when I'm spinning in circles following a bird.
You don't say.
Let's see. Liz asks, do adult cassowaries ever goof around like this when they with their babies, or is doing these crazy jumps and kicks just a baby thing?
We've seen our male side karate kick at different items like hanging toys or even trees and bushes. So they all do that, and they will sprint around the exhibit, but they don't do it for a long period of time. It's a short burst and they're done. This one continues.
All there.
She'll take a break and then go again.
Well, her size probably helps that. I can't imagine it's easy for a 145-pound cassowary to sprint in circles for 30
Right.
minutes.
When both of our keepers have both also said like that she's learning right now too. So a lot of what she's doing right now is practice. So that's why she's like kicking at everything kind of indiscriminately, just like seeing what that yields for her, and just practicing more and more running around and kicking and all the things she needs to do to be a healthy adult cassowary. She's doing a great job.
Yes, she is.
She's got to learn her limits and her abilities.
Right.
And we will be giving her boundaries, so we already don't let her, try to grab at her fingers. As she gets older, she's going to learn that, no kicking at people is tolerated. So we are kind of pushing her off right now whenever she is kicking us. It's just all play right now, which is good practice for her when she's growing up. So we'll just divert that kick to something light.
Right, which
The
is
hanging
why
toy.
We have the bowling pin.
So
Give her other things to kick so she doesn't want to kick us.
yes.
Hi, chicken.
She's a little chicken.
Oh, I tried to throw this for you. No, don't there. She really is funny because she'll do this grooming thing for like 2 seconds, and then she jumps and like goes off and is like, ah!
Yes. It's like she's got springs in her legs. She'll be laying down and all of a sudden she just springs up.
Hi, chicken.
And we do desensitize her to touching because we want her to be able to do other training behaviors for medical purposes. So, like vaccinations or blood draws or whatever for her health. That way it's less stressful for her and it's a reward because she gets rewarded afterwards.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's probably a lot easier to do when she's not like hyper with new people and like out in her fun yard. Like, do y'all find that it's easier maybe like one-on-one or like when she's a little more calm?
Yes, I mean we do it collectively. We do have primary trainers for her, and that way the training is consistent, and then we can build upon those.
But yeah, she's done really well with our supervisor and our vet staff have been able to do voluntary vaccinations on her so far.
Awesome.
So she really doesn't seem to mind at all. Like they can go ahead and give her the vaccination and she barely reacts. So she's definitely already on her way to being a really good, well-trained bird.
That's awesome. you found your phone.
Yeah, everything's exciting.
Gosh, you are so wet, little girl. She really, those fluffy feathers really soak in a lot of water, so she's like a sponge running around.
I feel like I have to be making someone seasick watching this, and I'm just so sorry.
There's nothing we can do. This is just how she is.
I saw one question that I missed earlier about what she's eating right now, and I think that might be in regards to whatever we had here.
Well, that's just a zucchini flower from our garden that we have. We just brought it. She loves flowers, so we bring her flowers so that she can eat. She likes to tear them apart and stuff too. But she's mainly now eating an adult cassowary diet, but cut into very small pieces.
Oh, cool.
So she's eating all of those fruits that she would be eating as an adult. And she's getting a little bit of vegetables there every once in a while as well. So she's pretty much eating the same thing, but some of the adults will eat some protein items every once in a while, and her protein is really just those crickets that she likes. So.
Good girl. Excuse you.
Still learning, right?
Yes.
Always a process.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's just
Good to
a
learn.
baby.
I gotta say, my favorite thing about her right now are probably those tiny wattles, which you can kind of see right now. And those are just gonna keep growing, right?
You are correct. That's how they get their name, double wattled cassowary. And she was hatched out with 2 little nubbins right there, so they'll continue to grow longer and longer as she gets older.
And they change color too.
Yes.
Look at me go, just knowing what you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's cool. They get, when they're adults, they have, their neck skin is almost, it's like blue, and then the wattles go to a red. So they're very colorful, actually.
They're so
around the
pretty.
neck as adults. Can I help you?
Okay.
I don't know.
Another thing I wanted to make sure we mention is she does have tiny wing nubs as well, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me in comments, like, why doesn't she have wings? But they're there, you just can't see them.
She's got like false wings, if you will. They're like little quills, like feathers. And those are for, displaying outward, just to threaten off anything that comes into her territory. She'll use it to rake across bark or the fencing here, so it makes like a rattle sound. So it does serve a purpose, and they will look like quills when she's older, black quills. So they blend into the body pretty well. What are you doing, Neil?
What are you doing, little one? Found a good spot to groom, just right here.
Right there in the sunshine. Oh goodness. What was that about? Oh, a person.
Oh, a person. She's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Where are you going?
Do we have any last questions we want to cover, Kelsey?
I don't see any coming in. I guess I just wanted to ask Olivia and Lauren, like, what is your favorite thing about cassowaries?
Well, I love, like what we were talking about, how they can swallow such large pieces of food. I think it's super cool. You can actually find videos online of them like swallowing whole grapefruits, whole tomatoes, and like you can see it going down their throat. So it's incredibly cool. And then the fact that they can, when they do that, they're helping their environment by being able to fertilize the seeds in those large fruits. It's just a really cool thing that these guys can do, and that's why they're so unique and special. But for her especially, my favorite thing about her is the little speckles on her little calf that is not there yet, but she's got like little freckles almost on her calf ever since day one, and it's been the cutest little thing.
We were talking yesterday, Jake, about the freckles on Hope's nose,
Yes.
and I think freckles are just the cutest
Freckles are
thing.
really cute.
Well, and she, as a baby, that was really, the only marking on her face are these little speckles. So when they disappear, we're all gonna be sad.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Lauren, what's your favorite thing about her or about Kelsey?
I love how powerful they are. So they're very athletic, and I love how they can jump really high and just be so awkwardly agility agile through the forest. So that's kind of my cool thing about them. And then just her just spunkiness, her personality just kills me.
She has a lot of attitude. For
She'll
such
run.
a young bird.
There's a longer yard here. We can get her to run. You can see. Come on, Mia. As I close on myself. Run, 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 run. She's... Mia, come here. Mia, run. Run, run, run. Vehicles go by, she gets really distracted.
Yeah, vehicles are distracting. I can relate. Oh, but
Everything. We dropped it off.
Right.
So she'll run. This is what we do. We run around just so she gets exercise. It's good for her bones. So she needs it. And we look like, silly people running around, but that's okay.
that's all right. That's fair.
When she's chasing you around, it's worth it.
And we gotta get home. We get exercise too.
Yeah, there you go.
My
Awesome.
workout program.
One last question from Megan. She wants to know about cassowary conservation. Can you guys fill us in on that?
We're part of the SSP program, and so we're able to provide other institutions with this lovely girls or whoever gets the joy of that. And then, we have permission to let these 4 eggs hatch. So what Dad is sitting on right now. So middle of August, we'll see and hope that we've got, some extra babies.
Yep.
So
And-
we're going to be able to provide for other places.
And I'm going to get you guys some information about that really soon. But yeah, we're really excited about that. Jake, what is your takeaway for our people about what they can do to help cassowaries at home?
That's a great question. So there are a lot of great things that you can do at home to help out animals all around the world. Things like recycling, there are better things to do now. So we reduce our consumption of single-use plastics, which can be hard to do in the pandemic, so just do your best. You can purchase products that are made with sustainably harvested palm oil. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. One of the best things that we as individuals can do right now is to collectively write to our senators, to large corporations, to the people in power who can make a lot of decisions that affect wildlife and wild places around the earth. And by doing that, we can really help animals like the cassowary. So for more information on that, you can go to naturalzoo.org and look at all of our conservation stuff there. We have a lot of really great, simple actions that you as an individual can take to help not just the cassowary, but all kinds of creatures on our earth. With that, we're going to wrap up our Take a Break with Jake. Thanks so much for joining us, y'all. And we'll see you next week with some new creatures to see. Bye-bye.